Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever you are in the world. Now, I just came across this. I actually saw it yesterday. I've got to stop doing that smacking my bloody teeth or my lips or whatever the bloody hell is. I've got to stop doing that. Anyway, PayPal stops handling payments for Tommy Robinson. I saw that on the 9th. Today's the 10th. It looks like the left are literally wanting to control the narrative on who can be on the internet and exist and who can't, which is wrong. But at the end of the day, the right have only themselves to blame for not having an alternative to, um, people on the left. People like PayPal who lean to the left, Google, Apple, Facebook, Twitter. Well, Twitter, and one or two others. So the right needs to start seriously looking at setting up, as Gab has tried to do, but has been shut down, but it's going about its business to try and now get its own service, its own domain, etc., etc. To slowly build up a business big enough using the likes of PayPal and all these other companies, but quietly. And then when you're ready to burst out with your own sort of payment system, in order to, and servers and all this kind of business, in order to counter, the arseholes from the left. There is no surprise. I mean, the only alternative, I don't know what he can do, on his website, whether he can just have people send checks, postal orders, or just put his bank details for transfer into his account, or whether he can do this through Patreon, whether they have an alternative system. I mean, Stripe will probably say no. The only other payment system that he could probably use would be Payza. I believe that is. Let's have a look and see. So Payza. I mean, I haven't used Payza for a long time, but that's probably another payment system. Here's Skrill. I don't know how they would react. Um, Paya, another system. Natel. Some of these are difficult to set up. I mean, Natel can be notoriously take quite a while. Or maybe he can set up Bitcoin's system. These people here, I'm not sure who they are. I've seen them before in the past. Now, a lot of these, let's have a look and see. Yeah. Payza in India, Payza Brazil. Um, headquarters in the UK. Let's have a look. this company it's about making money, about being a business. It's not interested in. Wow, is this true? Oh, so Payzar seems to have gone. Uh, I think it had a problem in the US. So let's see. Yeah, there you go. I think they're now sort of relocated to the UK. Yeah. So Payzar could be a payment system that it could use, and, and see whether they try and interfere with his business. Skrill. Let's have another look at Skrill. I think Skrill is a UK company. Yeah, it was founded in London in 2001. It's quite. Yeah, so Skrill could be a company. Stripe, I think, forget Stripe. I think Stripe is gonna, do the same thing. Many WebMoney, Natel, Payar, sorry, Skrill. Skrill is one that takes payment card systems, and I've never heard of these people. You could try them and see, as long as you've got something that can take a card payment system and you can have people pay, through that system, then most people, today are quite happy to use a. I mean, Skrill is a fairly well known well, it's reasonably well known. Let's see. Yeah. Money bookers. That's it. That's what they used to be known as. So there is a variety of payment systems that he could use. Um, the those on the right, of right-leaning businessmen, now need to start looking at whether or not they need to start looking after themselves, and they need to start looking at setting up their own web pages, their own servers, their own registries, anything that will stop those bastards on the left from trying to interfere with their way of working. And if Google, for instance, AdWords and stuff like that interfere, you just have to go through the traditional way of using paper ads and advertising through the paper, or putting leaflets through the door, um, or finding other ways to push a media, using companies like Minds, BitChute, and hopefully we can see what's its name, Gab, come back, in the scene again. Let's have a look here. In February 2010, the Sunday Times ranked Moneybrokers as the fastest growing private equity backed firm in the United Kingdom based on profits. In 2011, the company's customer base reached 25 million, including 120,000 merchant accounts. Its payment gateway being integrated by a number of global online brands such as Facebook, Skype, and eBay. So that's didn't know that. So that could be a little bit of a problem. The non-profit Better Business Bureau currently has Skrill US with a D rating as of 2016. Result of 66 complaints closed with BBB in last 3 years. As of July of 2018, Card Payment Options has ranked Skrill 3 out of 5 based on numerous customer complaints, where in many instances customers withheld funds from customers and merchants. Yeah, I mean, they closed my account. I think it was a personal one or was a business one. I had a problem with them a few, quite about 2013 or something like that. So yeah, but I don't know what they're like now. I have not used them in a long time, so it might be something you could look at. I just hope, you know, people on the right have got to realise you are under attack. They are wanting to push you out of existence. See, these bastards on the right will try. Sorry, on the left. Sorry, I apologise. On the left, will go at every which way to stop you from having a bank account. Now, the problem with that is that every job that you go to demands that you have to have a bank account. Well, I can remember when I first started working for my company in 1988, they were still paying the engineers out in the field gyro checks, and with that, at first it used to be, the money in the brown envelope. You signed it and you had your cash in your pocket. Great, but from a safety point of view, they then gave them gyros, so that you go to the nearest post office, cash it, and then they could then put their money into the same. If they hadn't, I think they had a gyro account, they could leave it in there or whatever. But it was done on the same day, so you could get your money on if it was on the Friday, and they used to pay every week. And I was hoping to be on that scheme. Nah, they said, sorry, mate, no, you're going to get monthly. So, and I didn't have a bank account that I wanted to use, because the one I was using was I think it was NatWest at the time. It was really difficult to use it or to get any money out. No, I did. Sorry, I did. I used it. It was in 2009. I then went and opened another account with the then Abbey National, because what it was, anytime I wanted to draw out an account from another branch, I had to go through the massive rigmarole of phoning them up, giving them ID information, all this kind of nonsense. But with Abbey National, as it was, in 1989, when I got my card, I did the same thing, and I phoned up Abbey National and said, "Oh, hello, I'm going to draw some money out for one of your branches." When I went up to Preston to do a course, they said, "No, just go to the bank. What have you got? ID?" I said, "Yeah, I've got my driving license paper." "You got your card?" I said, "Yeah." "You know your PIN number?" I said, "Yeah." "Then just go down, take your ID, and go down there." So I went down there. I walked into the branch and I said, "Look, I'd like to draw some money out." Because at the time, what was the reason why I think it was to use the overdraft facility, but I couldn't use it through the machine, I think. So I went into the branch and and so they said, yeah, no problem. What ID have you got? Do you have your card? And then I handed over my card, my ID, and any other ID that I had. And then they said, how much do you need? I said, oh, I want 20 quid. Boom, boom, boom. Done. It was it. And in those days, you could park outside directly. And I parked out with my van, had my ID, official ID. And they saw that, and so they knew I was a genuine worker. And that was it. I got my money straight away. No phoning up to get money out. Fantastic. So I then transferred all my details and everything else from NatWest to Abbey National. And it's made life so much easier. It really did. Really did. I can't remember why I couldn't use my card to get money out. I think it was even the same problem using your. I don't think the LinkedIn system was. I think you could only go to your local branch to get money out. It was ridiculous. The whole thing was ridiculous. But anyway, this is about Tommy Robinson. I've waffled on about nonsense. So here we go. Another attack on this gentleman. Mr. Jordan Peterson, the great doctor. Is he a doctor or professor? Because I want to address him by his proper title. Professor Peterson, Jordan Peterson, made the statement that he said to the effect that he was very happy that Mr. Robinson hadn't been killed in jail. He should never have gone to jail. They could have fined him heavily. He would have taken that fine. But instead, they wanted, hopefully, that he would have been killed in jail. The British authorities need to be very careful, because I think they know what might happen. I don't think they really do know what would happen if this gentleman was or had been killed in jail, because it was deliberately done to move him from the soft prison that he was in. He was comfortable with. There was no problem. I think he said he was 70% Muslim, and then he was moved to one that was 90% Muslim. Is it any wonder that the people more and more hate the authorities? This is the example of the authorities, of a working class man. The authorities, the upper class bastards, the middle to upper class bastards, are consistently showing the hatred of the working class man. They were hoping he would die. During that period of time that he was in prison. They knew eventually they had to let him go. At the end of the day, people do far worse. A young girl stabbed a female university student in Oxford, stabbed her boyfriend in the leg. She gave up all sorts of excuses and reasons, and she was supposed to be some brilliant, I think chemistry student or whatever student she is studying. And the judge, for whatever reason, didn't want to put her into prison because she was like 22, 23 years of age. What does that got to do with anything? If that was a young, white, working class girl who done similar, she'd be in prison. Period. It might be, the sentence might be shorter than the guy doing the equivalent, but she would have been in prison regardless. But this girl was a middle class, white, privileged girl going to Oxford. Oh, this would harm her prospect. Well, she shouldn't have done what she did in the first place. She should take responsibility for her actions. She's supposed to be intelligent, for God's sakes. This is an attack on working class. The middle class bastards are starting again. So if there's a way that we can, that systems that can be set up with people with like-minded views, and are not afraid of these twats on the left, not afraid of the authorities, work within the legal system, then it must be done. This is getting out of hand. Tucker Carlson, his family are terrorized by evil terrorists, because that's what they are. They are terrorists. They terrorized a family of children and his wife at his home. This is a guy who is just a broadcaster, for God's sakes. He doesn't wield a gun. He doesn't wield a knife. He doesn't wield a baseball bat. He wields intellect and dialogue. That's what he wields. And all that the left do is consistently show that they are always violent. They've been violent for centuries. They've been violent for centuries. They see the only way to force people to your viewpoint is to use force. That's how the left operate. Well, hopefully he'll find another payment system or some way, which people can send money in the post, checks, keep him going. Those bastards from PayPal can't stop that. Plain and simple. Anyway, that's my views. Thanks very much for listening.